Unfinished Business. Book 2, Parts 1 and 2 of the McKinnon Legends, a time travel series. Written by Ranay James. Narrated by Cait Frizzell. Part 1. Failure is not an option. Chapter 1. West Coast of England, April 13, 1494. The sound of clashing weapons was carried away on the wild, ripping wind. All other sound lost any relevance as the angry, deafening 30-foot waves crashed white on the boulders hundreds of feet below. If one were to believe in the existence of Titans, then the mighty Poseidon surely had awakened from the watery depths, showing his might as a force that no human dare reckon. Morgan Pembridge, 7th Duchess of Seabridge, stood frozen on the jagged cliffs of her ancestral home, with her gaze fixed on her husband and uncle, as they danced the deadly dance so close to the razor's edge. Swords arched and clashed, cooling the very lightning from the sky, just as if Thor's hammer brought the crashing thunder. The right to her freedom hung in the balance with the outcome of this battle. It would seal her fate and the fate of every successive generation to follow. Her husband and uncle were engaged in a fight that would be to the death, and the gods of old knew they would be appeased here this day, demanding nothing less than a blood sacrifice. Morgan didn't see the man creeping behind her, intent on taking her life. Cullen did, and the young knight dove toward her, placing himself between a woman he loved and her assassin. After the first strike, he tumbled to the ground, pushed her aside, and deflected the second blow, while using his body as a shield to protect her from the strike designed to end her life. Rolling just as the man was raising his sword to strike a third time, Morgan saw Cullen's sword still clutched in his hand, and she placed her hands around his hand to help him thrust upward, piercing the assassin's heart. The man was dead before he hit the ground. Nick McKinnon, 7th Duke of Seabridge, pushed Lord Brentwood ever closer to the rocks. Brentwood was faltering and was no match for Nick's superior skill and driving need to end this threat to his wife and 3 small children. Nick smelled Brentwood's fear and sensed victory. He instinctively knew the end was near. "You're mine, Brentwood, and I shall gladly kill you, and kill you slowly for the 7 years of hell you put my woman through. You shall never again threaten me and mine." "I won't give you the satisfaction." Knowing Nick would make good on his threat, Brentwood jumped from the cliff, falling hundreds of feet below to his death, where the mighty Poseidon received his offering, sucking down the gift into the watery depths of the grey, foamy sea. Nick sighed. It was over. The nightmare was finally over. Morgan was free from the clutches of the madman who, for years, had been set on stealing Morgan's birthright through treachery and deceit. Turning away from the edge, Nick watched Regan, who was a healer and a friend, kneel on the ground next to his beloved younger brother. Morgan was clutching Cullen's hand, holding it to the side of her face. Connor Holden, his friend and blood brother, along with 2 other men-at-arms, stood back, ready to defend them in the event they hadn't killed all Brentwood's men in the bloody battle for the right to claim Seabridge and the riches it represented. The scene took a moment to register in Nick's mind. Finally, he understood Regan was frantically working to save Cullen. Nick ran to the small group as he heard his wife anxiously pleading for Regan's help. Nick knew his brother's life was slipping away.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?